to
All right.
this place.
Sorry, I'm cutting you off. 3, 2, 1, and go. Wildly uninteresting.
All right, so I was gonna say there was this place we went and ate yesterday. It's called Cookout, I guess. I'd never been there. But we ate some burgers, and there was a picture of these cowboys riding horses, and there were some cows. Right. So Austin stood up, and it was like, "Hey, lick that horse's ass," so we could take a picture, you know. And Amy got a picture of it, and this dude walked by, and he was just kind of like, "What the fuck is going on?" So the guy went in the bathroom to pee, and then Austin went in to pee like behind him, and the guy was at the urinal. But whenever Austin walked in, like he looked over his shoulder, like suspiciously at Austin because of what he had just seen.
Like he's scared he's gonna lick his ass.
He moved in closer to the urinal. He was
Shut
like,
up.
"Oh man, look what he did to that picture. What's he gonna do to me?"
He should have tried to lick his ass.
So that was fun.
Fucking wonderful.
I like to welcome our viewers to Wildly Uninteresting, where we don't look up the facts to anything we say.
We know
pretty
nothing.
much we just say it, and then hopefully it's kind of true.
Yeah.
And if it's not, you can always go in the comments and let us know if it's not true. But other than that, fuck them, right?
That's a genius
right.
preface. Because we can just say whatever the fuck we want. If people don't correct us, then
we're correct.
fuck them. They can't
That's right.
complain.
They have to tell us that we're wrong. But I just want to say, you know, we're not here to fucking tell facts and shit. We're just here to talk and be noise in the background for people who just don't give a fuck like we do.
Yeah.
Because we just don't give a fuck.
We be
Does anybody
here
give a fuck? You give a fuck? I
bullshitting.
don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck.
So me
You
and
didn't ask
Sarah,
me, and I don't give a fuck.
oh, I forgot about that. So me and Sarah got in a conversation in the car the other day, whatever day,
And I pushed him out.
Not today.
about
Nice.
people and their fucking kids. And I know we've talked about this before, but I've had buddies, and then you know
Why not
I
rehash
have,
it?
yeah, I have like friends and shit that have kids, and they'll post a million fucking pictures of their baby and shit, and they're like, oh, look how fucking special my kid is, and they're doing tummy time, you know, 2 months in or whatever. Tummy
Wait,
time.
what is tummy time?
It's where
Literally when they put them on their stomach
Their
so
stomach.
they can strengthen their neck muscles.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's something that's been done forever. They just decided to give it a fucking title.
Yeah,
interesting.
tummy time.
All right.
It was the first time I heard about it. When they told me about it, I was like, get the fuck out of here. Well, they'll do that.
I didn't know that's what they called it.
An
said
accomplishment
it.
in a baby's world is going from tummy to back.
Yeah.
You know, it rolls over. That's an accomplishment. I'm sure they'll have a trophy eventually.
Absolutely. They
So,
will.
My
I'd
thing
be so
is,
mad about that.
why does every fucking parent think like their kid is the shit? Do you know what the fucking statistic is that your kid is going to be nothing at all?
It's a
Far
very,
larger.
very
Yeah.
high
It's got to
statistic.
be high.
I'm
compared
going
to
99%.
yeah,
Is the
without a
truth.
doubt.
Everybody has their own stupid ass bias because they think, oh, I'm better than everybody. My child's better than everybody.
Fucking hate it.
There's a questionnaire, or whatever, of like asking people whether or not they thought Mother Teresa was going to go to heaven, and then they were asked whether they thought they were going to heaven, and a higher percentage of people said they are going to heaven before Mother Teresa.
Get out. That's
Yeah,
fucking
dude.
ridiculous. I would assume it's a biological thing, though, to think your child is just spectacular. Like, otherwise you wouldn't protect it and keep it alive, and the human
Right.
race would die off. Like, I understand. I'm not a parent, but I can understand being like, oh my God, this kid's fantastic. But still,
But
they're
can-
not.
So, I mean,
yes,
you can't really
definitely.
properly shit talk it until it's like 5 anyway. Until then, it's
So
just
we
like
don't
every
give
other
a
kid.
fuck. Yeah.
So, but
'Cause-
they post these things like they're huge accomplishments. They're like, look at my baby's personality and all that. Bitch, please.
Mm-hmm.
That first year, your kid. How can you know that your kid's gonna be anything or with a personality? The motherfucker shits, pisses. Ooh, I almost said
Shits,
piss.
it shits piss.
Shits, piss, and fucking drools.
Pisses
That's
shit.
all it does.
I've done that. Babies ain't special.
I did it
I just,
today.
I don't fucking get it, man. And it's we're just putting more of them out there, more and more and more. I don't want to have a fucking kid because you pollute the world with idiots,
Well,
like a
and,
bunch of fucking.
You know, be proud of your child, please, because if not, you're a shitty parent. But
Support them privately.
yeah, don't. That shouldn't be every fucking post on your Facebook. If that's what you're doing with your Facebook, get rid of it. I mean,
that is irritating.
and just send pictures to people in your phone who give a fuck, because
when people have profile pictures like of their kid.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's not you. Your stupid ass kid. I can't fap to that. Put that away.
I've also suggested though, like, take them off your Facebook. Fuck them.
I know this shit it's very annoying when they post like the grouping pictures, like 26 plus fucking photos of their kid, and it's all
like
pretty
today.
much the same picture.
Yeah, of course.
Over and
I will
over.
tell you though, I think the exception to this is Ariel with her kid. I thought that was kind of funny.
Precious.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
it's a cute kid, but
Okay.
I don't know.
There are no exceptions.
Just with it being Ariel, I was like, yeah, this is fine.
Yeah.
She's got like a full fucking like, I don't know, 2 folders worth of shit.
Yeah.
Like she had to start a new one because Facebook was like, you can't put any more in this one.
That's badass.
There are
Go
no,
Ariel.
there
Shout
are
out
no
to Ariel. What's up, girl?
exceptions to this. Your kid's a fucking idiot rule.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I kind of feel that way with my band though.
Like,
It's like
how?
I just
What, that
spout
they're all
off like,
idiots?
no, like we're like, ooh, we're better than your fucking band.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
Are we? So why don't we have a goddamn deal?
Who's to gauge that, anyways? You know.
Mm-hmm.
I started.
The hip hop community.
I was gonna tell you. I really give it up to you. So
Yep.
at church asked me, which is the best place to ever be asked to play an instrument or speak or any of that. It's the best place because you don't have to. You know, they don't judge you like
So you
that.
can speak freely.
They're like,
It's
you're
not like
good.
they have a book you have to read from.
So they asked me recently to sing. So I was going to tell you I give it up to you because they asked me, it's been a very long time since I got up in front of anybody and actually played to people other than like Sarah and shit. So
I make them nervous.
And that's
Yeah.
every Thursday and Friday.
man, I got up
scare
there
'em.
and I was playing and I was shaking so bad that I couldn't get a good breath to actually, push. They said I did good, but you're singing in front of church people. And
Well, they can't lie.
hey.
They
do,
absolutely can.
Oh,
They
I
definitely do.
misunderstood.
It's called a
then.
sin.
Thought that was an archery
And
term.
we're full of it. But yeah, man, I give it up to you because, but it was just me up there, and it just made me feel I was shaking, couldn't get a good breath. It was just it's weird, man. It's been a long time.
You know, something weird is I had that a few months ago at practice.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's that Misfits song Bullet, and like I had forgotten it.
Could you sing it for us?
President's full of dead body in the street. By Johnny Pride.
It's awesome.
But yeah, like I took the night before the practice to relearn it,
yeah.
and then I went into practice. I was all smug. I was like, yeah, fuck
Yeah.
you people. And then we started playing it, and I was just instantly nervous like the whole time because I was like, I'm going to nail this perfectly.
Oh, you
And then I'm going to say, suck my dick.
Yes.
And then I'm going to be all like, look at how great I am. And I nailed it. Like, I played it perfectly.
You were
But I was
nervous.
nervous, which is weird because I never get nervous for shows. But
Maybe
that
it's 'cause
one
you built-
practice.
Because you built it up, maybe.
Yes.
Because I want to like move people with this song, and like I think that's what happens is I'm like
It's too
I'm
many
getting it in my head.
expectations.
Yeah, but for myself, I don't think anybody
Yeah.
else expects it. But I want it to be just like moving people, like, oh
Yeah.
God, it touched me.
Yeah, dude. Because I
in a
mean,
special
realistically,
place.
if something hits you like that, then you want like your goal is to translate that to them.
Yeah, man.
It's like if you don't make them feel it, do you properly feel it?
Right.
It's like if you can't
Makes it scary,
teach
doesn't it?
something, do you really understand it?
Right.
You know?
Right. And that's what it made me nervous, man. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get up in front of the congregation and do it.
Yeah.
But I got to get practicing more and take that expectation out of the thing. Because you're right. That's what it is. You're building it up to be something.
You
that
said
it's
that.
Not gonna be.
I just agreed with you.
No, you were saying that. You were saying that before.
Giving you credit for his
Oh.
shit.
Thanks,
you knew
buddy.
it was going to be good. You
Yeah,
knew it was going
that's
to nail
true.
it and shit.
Yeah.
You said that.
You articulated it.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, come on, man.
Oh yeah.
Come on, man. But
So-
no, it's certainly I'm watching it.
All right.
Expectations make you more nervous than anything. It's probably
Hell
why I always sucked under pressure at basketball. I'd be just fine. Like, I can practice, I can play a game until it's like or like if the game super mattered, or it's the
Super
last
mattered.
30.
Yeah. That's
the
some
last
thick
30
ass air.
seconds.
Matter
It was
everywhere.
difficult to like get through.
Difficult.
But I would fuck up. Guaranteed I would fuck up. What's wrong? Oh. Sorry.
What?
She just pal driving the table. Cool.
And making it my bitch, and he's
Bitch.
upset.
She does it better than me.
Aw.
Hey, so I went to.
I do nothing better than you. Touch my hand,
Touch
damn it.
me.
Except
so I
piss
went.
sitting down.
Yeah. Oh, I
I
think
do
I
that
do
better.
pretty good.
Yeah, I know.
I do that better.
I know.
I do that
I know
better.
you do.
Have your nut sack
Nut sacks.
Nut
ever
sap.
hit the water?
Yeah.
It's like dipped in.
It's like frightening and refreshing at the same
Yeah,
time.
it's such a weird feeling. Man. Yeah, for
It
sure.
would only be refreshing if it were in your own home, because otherwise you're like,
Ooh,
Jesus
yeah.
You don't know what you're gonna
Christ. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna be like
It's
that?
all just floating at the top.
Jesus.
Now
When-
look what I get to take home with me.
So many
No, don't look at it.
diseases.
I got a question.
Wait, has
I
that
went-
happened to you, or did you
What,
just like?
balls in the toilet?
Yeah.
Like what? Oh yeah.
Okay.
Like it happens.
You just made me admit it for no reason. You fuck yourself.
Your
like
balls are huge.
Or like it overflows and then your balls are just sitting in there and like in the water, the nasty shitty duty water.
Yeah, dude.
Nah.
Duty
Duty
water.
water.
So I got my. Let me get this fucking out because I went to do it like 12 times.
40 minutes later.
So I was doing I went to the dentist and got my teeth fixed, and they're fucking drilling and all that shit. Well, this guy comes over and was like, "Oh, we're putting like 3 gold caps on this African American's teeth." And it dawned on me how many African Americans, which I think who else we say get them a lot?
Are they actually African American, or can we call them black?
Black.
Okay.
Yeah.
Turn it up. Well, it depends on who you're talking to. If you want to be PC, it's African American.
Well, fuck that, because I work with plenty of Africans
Yeah.
that actually are Africans, so they're African Americans.
So
But
what-
Morgan Freeman didn't come from Africa, so
Yeah.
suck a dick.
I got like caps in my teeth and always want them to match my other teeth so that it doesn't look like I have fucked up teeth. Why do people get the gold caps? Like would there be like one gold tooth or like 2, one up here, one down there?
Yeah.
I think
What
the
is that?
only other group that we said they were just white trash people.
Oh, white
I knew
trash
a white trash girl that had one gold tooth.
It's a fun aesthetic choice.
But why is it only black people? Not only, but
Not-
most
yeah.
commonly. I'm
Not
sorry.
only, but commonly, I feel like older ladies and everything.
Yeah.
I could see where it would tie into like the idea of bling, like, hey, look at all my chains, look at my rings, so
Yeah,
it's
but
like,
they'll
hey, I
be
can
like-
afford jewelry, I have throwaway money.
Right.
Yeah, and you got your Jordans, but what kind of car do you drive? Oh, I'll take the bus.
Yeah, I take the bus. But that's
just-
what we were saying
we've
is
seen so many.
I know educated, wealthy
Yeah.
black people who still have it.
Older ladies that are like church going, like whatever,
Yeah.
and they'll get a gold for no reason.
Okay, here we go, I guess. What is it with white people and like tucking in their shirts
Oh, it's a great question.
and having their phones clipped to their belt?
Oh, you're gonna call me out like that, huh?
I was looking at her so it wouldn't seem like a direct attack, but
I don't
It's
know,
a direct
man.
attack.
It makes me feel like I'm doing something, like I got a tool on my side. I can get it real quick. It's almost like a gun because
So
I can't
carry a
carry a
gun.
gun. I can't.
He's a convicted felon.
carry a BB gun. Can you have a BB gun?
I'd say
yeah.
it's probably not in your best
Or is that,
interest
like,
to
great?
walk
Yeah.
around with
The
a gun
only-
on your hip.
Oh, calm
So-
down, Pilgrim. It's just a BB gun.
So when you're a convicted felon, so they define it as a firearm is defined as something that has a combustible. You know what I mean? That it's the projectile is.
So you could get like one of those little air rifles.
Yeah, I can get
Okay.
those. Yeah.
And obviously a Nerf gun.
But who am I gonna
If it's
fucking-
automatic, though, it could be really...
Who am I gonna stop with a little
Discombobulated.
bitty pellet gun?
Shoot him in the eye.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You know
Well,
what we thought about getting is a fucking taser, one of the gun
Yes.
tasers, because
Yeah, that'd be
it's
awesome.
like I think it's not explosive. I forgot
Yeah.
how it projects itself.
It's like on springs.
That's what I thought, man. And I can get you from like 30 feet,
Yeah.
coming at me. I'm like,
Plus, I mean, as long as it's just self-defense, then that'll be sufficient.
yeah, man.
I'm just
exa-
saying,
I'm a-
with a pellet gun, walking around with one, it's not going to do any damage. Which is, if you're trying to protect yourself, you need it to,
Yeah.
make someone go away. And secondly,
If I was going to rape somebody, though, and they shot me in the neck with it, I'd probably back down.
yeah, but you're a pussy. Most
Yeah.
rapists aren't.
Yeah, that's true. All right, fair
But
point.
the other thing would be, if they see a gun, because a lot of them look like real guns.
Oh, they do, yeah, man.
You're putting yourself at a
That was
risk.
the appeal of it, really.
Yeah, but you're putting yourself at a risk in which you cannot protect yourself.
What about a knife?
properly?
have a
Yeah, it
knife?
has to be under like 6 inches. Yeah, or
Is
it
it
has
6?
to be 3.
I was thinking
That's
4.
3 inches.
Yeah, it can't be big.
Can't be a big knife.
Okay.
Can't carry
Like
a
we've
big
got a little. It's a little Klein knife. Like it's like this big.
knife. Yeah, my
Like
little
that's
baby
fine.
knife.
The one that I have is huge. I'm not even.
What
Gonna...
about what would they consider a baseball bat with like razor wire on it? Is that a knife or is that a bat and
I
it's
don't
cool?
think you're
Like,
supposed
this
to
guy's
anyone,
stupid.
whether you're a convicted felon or not. I don't
He's
think you're
seen
supposed
too
to have
many
that.
fucking TV shows and video games. What kind of
maybe.
weapon is this?
'Cause
No, it's a badass weapon.
That's not how a bat comes naturally, so it's been changed into something else.
Considered it's a weapon. Fuck it, man. Yeah, I don't know. That's something I always just wondered about the goatee thing. I just never got it because you know what I mean? Why would you get a
And
goatee?
also, I guess why not go with white gold? Because then it would like blend a little
Blend a
better.
little bit better,
Plus,
yeah.
white gold's cooler anyway.
But
I feel like gold would break down. It's very malleable. You like that word?
yeah,
like
but
that.
it doesn't it. I feel like I could put my ring outside and it'll
It
still
might
be
last
there.
longer.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because it is still a metal. As long as you don't step on it a bunch, I figure it'd be okay. I don't know, though.
Just don't go stepping on mouths.
So how's the week?
Oh, as well.
How's the week been, man? It's been crazy raining here. I'm just gonna fucking put it out there that Kentucky and Indiana have been
Hasn't
rained the
stopped.
fuck on. So okay, look, I want to tell
It rained
people
the whole
that
time
do
I was off
listen
work.
I
and
love
do
the rain.
fucking
No.
do listen to our fucking podcast. I want to let you know that everybody needs to just be okay with very, very terrible weather. I was listening to this Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah, like
and this-
hurricanes and shit.
Yeah, the gentleman was on there, and he said the damage that we've done to the world, you know, the biggest thing in our generation, you know, before we die, the biggest thing that's going to happen are natural disasters. We don't have to worry about war. That's not going to happen in our generation. It may, but we really have to worry about our natural disasters, storms, everything. He said that the weather is going to change so drastically because of the damage we've done to the world, and it continued. Like I told you in the last podcast, you know, there's no way to just change it right now. Even if we changed everything and
Right.
cut out all the CO2.
So there's still the lingering effects.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It takes a very long time for it to correct itself. So people need to just, if you notice, like the weather's gotten worse. You know what I mean? With the hurricanes and earthquakes and tsunamis, stuff like that. It's gotten worse. And it's only going to continue to get worse. So people who don't like the rain and shit, just kill yourself because,
I guess I should go
Simmer
and kill
down.
myself because I fucking hate
I have a
it.
counterpoint to this.
okay.
We don't believe weathermen because they don't know that it's going to snow 3 days from now. So
Right.
why the hell do we believe this scientist man when he's like, this is what's going to happen 10 years from now?
Right?
We don't know the weather next week, bitch. What
I
do you know
know.
about 10 years from now?
right.
We'll see.
They can't tell. It was not supposed to rain today. And it's raining.
Another
Today.
Like a motherfucker.
Another
Yeah.
thing that's crazy about that they don't know, you know, whatever, is the fact that you can say anything you want, but in reality, you don't know how the world is going to react to the damage. It may just correct itself, and the weather may get worse or it may not. It might get hotter than normal and stuff like that. But one way or another, the Earth will correct itself. That's just how it is. Now, we'll make it harder on ourselves, like we've poisoned the water so much that you can't hardly eat fish without getting mercury poisoning. But you know, maybe that's a way for the Earth, like people who eat too much fish, well, you're just going to die. It's natural selection because the Earth is fixing itself. You know what I mean? It's killing off just enough to live. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
Any more
I like
counterparts,
that idea.
motherfucker?
Yeah, bitch.
Why do people always say
Thought so.
Jimmy it?
Jimmy it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know why.
Put the
Yeah.
key in there. All you gotta do is Jimmy it.
Just Jimmy it.
What is that
So
about?
is I don't know.
I don't know. Do
Is
you want me
it-
to look it up?
Yeah.
Yeah, what did
That's a good
Jimmy
ass
do to
question.
get that? Like, what was his purpose in life?
Yeah, the original Jimmy.
The original Jimmy.
And then when people are talking on radios, they're like, Roger that.
Roger that.
Who's Roger? Who is this Jimmy and Roger
Roger
combo?
is like military. People in the military use what? I still don't know who Roger is. But over the radio,
Damn it!
maybe Roger created CB radios or some shit.
That'd be cool.
You know, walkie-talkies.
A jimmy is actually a short crowbar used by a burglar to force open a window or door. That's its actual definition of jimmy.
Jimmy.
All right, so a Jimmy is a thing and not so much an act.
Yeah. Well, there's also a verbal form of it. So just force
Jimmy.
open.
This fucking language.
It's a noun and a verb.
A noun and a verb.
Yep.
Look up Roger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roger.
And in that,
Roger that.
In that time,
Yeah.
I'd like to, I don't know, I woke up and I was thinking about a lyric by Brand New today,
Yeah.
where he's like, we all go to bed in the same place, and in the morning hope we're all the same.
Yep.
And it's like, not only did it make me wonder if people are the same, it's like, are we waking up in the same reality?
That'd be cool if not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would also
don't
be
know,
kind of
man.
frustrating, but yes, it would be cool.
That is a good question. I think it goes back to you create your own reality, because only you can perceive it. You can't perceive what I'm perceiving. You know what I mean? So is it a different reality for you? Or is your brain just making sense of the reality you're in? You know what I mean?
Right. And then how does that translate with like video recordings? Like if you put on a GoPro and you're like, this is what I saw today.
Yeah.
Like, would it actually
somebody
translate the same to my visual
I don't think
cortex?
so. If you were,
or would it just be like, hey, we're looking at the same thing, but
Yeah.
I see trees and you see like a pipe,
Yeah.
a steel pipe.
I think that. Yeah,
Not
because your
like a
brain
meth pipe.
selects
Yeah.
things that you want to see, that you like, that. So I think that you watching a video that I made would be different than what I thought the video was about. You know, if I make a video of me doing some shit, me explaining something, funny or whatever, and then I send it to you, like, you don't know my actual intention for that video. You know what I mean? You just know how you perceived it.
Yes.
So imagine the media when they're thinking of, like, how do we get these stupid motherfuckers to buy rotisserie chickens, right? And then they're like, well, let's make a video about popcorn. And then they'll be like, you know what? I don't like popcorn. I'd rather have a rotisserie chicken.
Popcorn doesn't glisten enough.
Yeah.
And
Doesn't
it
smell as
doesn't
good.
rotate. It doesn't rotisserize.
Rotisserie.
Rotisserie.
Yeah, it's weird, man. Did you find the
Shit.
Roger that thing?
Yup.
Look at it.
Okay, in the previously used U.S. spelling alphabet, R was Roger, in which it means received. So, yeah, it's what
Alright.
used to be used.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Learning shit today.
Look at us learning shit. We
All right,
won't
but I also kind
remember
of
next
wonder.
time.
Simmer down. No, you can say what you
Simmer
want. I'm
down.
sorry.
Bitch, please.
Nah, bitch, please say what you want.
Oh, no, that was,
Alright.
I said that we won't remember next time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I won't.
Anyway. All right, so
Limited brain
along the
matter.
lines of the visual perception and shit, they're all like, beauty is in the eye of the beholder and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been said that the more you like a person's personality, the more physically attractive you find them.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely so.
So, like, if you have like a really good story in a movie, does that then make like the visual presentation more appealing to part of the audience?
Oh,
I would say so.
yeah, I would
And
say
they're like,
so.
oh, it was visually beautiful, but if they don't dig the story, they're like, I look like shit.
Well, and just like Blow, for example, is the perfect movie to me. Everything about it is spot on. The music used, when it comes in,
But to somebody else.
how they're dressed, when the music's, everything.
See, with
yes.
you talking about it, like, I had my doubts about it, but then I watched it. I was like, fuck yeah, dude.
Hell yes. But we were raised in the same household and we're very similar people. I mean,
Yeah.
so there's probably some science behind that shit.
I'd like to know that, because there's a lot of shitty movies that, like, so Sarah
People love.
doesn't perceive love the same way I do.
Right.
You know, she has a different way of expressing and taking it in. I am a fucking romantic at heart, and I like The Notebook. I like P.S. I Love You. I like all these fucking chick flicks, right? Because they tell such a wonderful love story, and I even fucking tear up and cry. I'm not gonna lie to nobody. I fucking tear
Because
up and
it's
cry.
sweet.
But when she watches it, she's like, "This shit is gay as fuck."
Can we turn it
So
off?
I haven't watched a chick flick since we've been together because of that fact.
Except The Notebook, because I had never
Oh, yeah,
seen
you
it
did.
and I watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And the thing is,
I've never seen that. I've heard that's pretty sweet. Though.
I'll overlook cheesy
I didn't hate
lines
it,
and
I
all
cried.
that shit. I'll overlook cheesy lines and fucking bad cinematography if it's a love story that is just timeless. The love story you could tell over and over again in different movies still the fucking same, but you're like, man, this movie was so different.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I mean, I tend to enjoy like romantic comedies.
Yeah.
But I don't want like the sappy shit. I mean, I like sappiness in it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can describe a movie predominantly as
A sappy
what did I
love
say?
story.
Yeah.
Sappy love story.
Roll the tape back. I don't know what we're talking about. Oh,
The
Yeah.
weed has kicked in.
But if something is sappy by nature, then it's like, okay, in doses.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking like with my lyrical approach to crap. Like I want things that are sincere, but not too earnest.
Right.
Right.
You know. So
Yeah.
and get your real feelings out there, but don't be a bitch about it.
Right. Yes.
It's
hell
so
yeah.
I used to write all the fucking time for music and stuff back when I was trying to sing and all that shit and try to be a songwriter and shit. And I'm sure mine come out really fucking dumb, but you have to go about it like covering up your true meaning. So this is what you do. You cover up your true meaning, you put it out there. You have a certain feel that you put in that song. Well, you want other people, it's like art. You want other people to perceive it
Interpret
for
it.
what they want it to be. You know what I mean? That's what makes them like it. So if it's an in general wide spectrum song, they can like it more because they can put their self into that song. But if you wrote a song like exactly say what you exactly mean in every word, it probably would be shit.
Right.
You know
I
what
think
mean?
it's also in how you say it, though.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
If you just say like, "Why don't you love me?" and you're like, "Why don't you love me?" You know, but if you're also like, "Why don't you love me?" It's kind of bitchy and stupid.
I like that one.
But yeah, it's, I don't know, man. It's the perception is always different. I've been getting into these books about how you perceive your reality, and you can and it's actually, once you like get the concept in your head about you can shape your own reality into whatever, like this podcast, we don't have that many listeners. We just started and shit, and it excites me when I'm in the truck and shit, and I'm like, you know what? It could be anything we want it to be at this point, because we don't have people telling us, oh, well, we want this or we want that. We can do whatever we want with it. So I can say what I want. I can be how I want. I can dress like I want. Fuck them. I can do, because it's my reality. I'm shaping it. But if you put that into everything else you do in life and your goals and aspirations and fucking your career and all that, think about the possibility. You can do whatever you want. The money will come and all that shit, but you can make this reality whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, you
It's-
hold you back.
Yeah, it's
What if
sorry.
I wanted to be an Ian-run dictatorship?
You can. You'd probably be all alone in it. You'd probably be dictating yourself.
I definitely think that you could find people to dictate.
Bring me that pretzel cheese, dick. All right, I'll go get it.
I'll go get
An
it.
Ian Run dictatorship. It's a very interesting sentence.
That'd be rough. But no, it's one of those things, like, I think that we've been held down by, I've said this before, but with school, and they put us in line,
Right.
and then the media fucking tries to suppress
Yeah, but that's
your
also
real
helpful
feelings.
to a degree.
It is, because you need people to run those companies that
Yeah.
people start.
Yeah,
But
without
when-
the squares, what do you have?
We read a
Right.
book from,
Bunch of squiggles.
what's the guy? It's called Jump. The book is called Jump.
For
You
all
bought it for
squiggles,
me
it's
for my
just an
week
ocean.
off.
Oh,
He
Steve
has
Harvey.
a nice smile, Steve Harvey, man. And that's his whole thing. He was like, what's holding us back is the fact that we're just too scared to jump and do something different. Like, we're too scared to fucking put ourselves out there and create our own world, because people have created our world for us for so long that that's what we're accustomed to. Our body and our mind wants that, because you don't want to be uncomfortable doing your own thing, you know?
Yeah.
Most definitely. I think too, especially like when you're younger and stuff, like people want you to like be yourself, but only within these limits. So, I mean, some people don't let that hold them back. They don't give a fuck, and those are your quote unquote rebels. But do they go on to do anything differently? No, like it's depends on what you're putting your energy into, I guess.
So it's like personality kind of becomes genre in a sense.
Yeah,
It's
most
like,
definitely.
be yourself, but like this. Make your own kind of music, but within this genre.
Yeah.
Make your own movie.
And say it's just like us. I mean, being drug addicts, we have, you're a very resourceful person, but you're just using it for bad. If you would
Right.
just turn it around.
I've thought that.
Yeah, and put it into something good. I mean, and look what, in a matter of a year, we were completely different people, and we had our own place, our own car. We both
that's
had
crazy.
solid jobs. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
in no time at all. I mean, it's been 6 years. Well, 6 years in a week.
Yeah.
In a week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, who gives a shit about that extra week?
Yeah, I
But
know.
now you're like, yeah, all right.
Yeah, that is
And
crazy.
we
Yeah.
own a home.
Yes.
We've had multiple vehicles. We would still have the original one if some shit hadn't happened.
Plus,
but
it's helpful that you guys function as a unit.
yes,
Yeah.
definitely so. But it's just
Haven't
what
killed
you
her
put
yet.
your energy into.
It's like,
And
baby, I want some drugs. Not if you want this dick. Baby, I want some drugs. Not if you want this tank.
said
Yeah.
no one ever.
I'm just spitballing. I don't
Yes.
know.
That
But
is
no,
the
for
truth,
sure,
though,
you
man.
get it. But it's definitely, as long as you're putting your energy into something positive and your personality and yourself into what it should be and what you want it to
It'd
be,
be
then
that
you
way.
can achieve anything.
So, like, instead of robbing people for drugs, you could just rob people for, like, a retirement
Food.
plan.
Yes. So once your 401k.
Yeah.
Invest in my company.
Yes.
I didn't spend any of this on getting high. I'm just increasing my portfolio.
Look at everything I own.
And I have a feeling too. It goes back to like envisioning it before it happens. So you gotta know what your vision is before it happens. I think in prison I had so much time to sit and think about what I truly wanted out of life, where I was going, and what to stay away from. And then sure enough, like she said, man, it didn't take a few months we were out of my parents and we were in our own apartment. But then it was just a snowball effect when you start putting your plan into motion, man. I feel like you can do whatever. You
So
can
if
make
it's
your life
If it's a
anything.
matter of you can make your life anything you want, is it fair to assume that the majority of people's visions is negativity and uncertainty?
I would say it's a good possibility.
And if so, why?
Or if it's not negativity,
Condition.
it's just that it's not clear enough. I mean, because we actually sat down and wrote out our goals of what we wanted, out of life, and in the next, like so many months, so many years or whatever,
Yeah.
and hung them up, looked at them, talked about them on a regular basis. And I mean, we were very descriptive about it. I think that detail is super important because you could say, I want a brand new car. Like, that's not really specific.
You just go about your life like normal.
Yeah.
And change nothing. It's like,
Definitely.
why don't I have a car?
That's like the last time when I took my master's. That's all I was like. Yeah, I'm gonna pass, and I'm thinking about like I'm gonna pass. Yeah, let me envision it. But I didn't truly feel inside that I was prepared or ready. So I went in nervous. I fucking took it terrible. I couldn't find shit. I kept second guessing, and it all came from I didn't have a clear vision, and I didn't believe it. I didn't have faith in it.
You also
know what I mean?
didn't study clearly.
No, not like I should have.
All right.
Right.
But I think even if I had, just to a full extent, I think with that mindset going in, like tomorrow, I'm thinking I already got my master's. That's what I did with my journeymans. I was like, I already have it. I kept telling people I had it already, and I didn't even have it. I was like, I'm waiting on it to come in the mail. And then sure enough, I passed it my first time.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But you got to fucking own your life because nobody's going to own it for you. They're going to own you. Nobody's
Yeah.
going to own it for you.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
Most
Think
definitely.
about that,
so.
man. Sit on the toilet and think about that one.
With your
I'm
nuts
sitting
in
on
the
the
water.
toilet
With
a
your
lot.
nuts in the water.
By the way,
Past few days have been shitting pretty fierce.
By the
I
way,
went through like 3 rolls of toilet paper in no time.
damn it.
that's a lot of money.
A lot of money, bro. Toilet paper sucks.
You want your cash back? Oh, I was
I'll
just
just take a
gonna
roll.
sing "Nuts in the Water" like smoke on the water. So-
Nuts in the water.
Yeah, when I wrote it, that's
Yeah.
how I heard it.
I can
so.
see that.
That's all.
So,
I don't know how to finish that line though.
I don't know.
Nuts in the water.
So that
Getting
guy,
kind of cold.
so
Something, I don't know.
that guy that stole all that equipment from Magnolia Bar in Louisville that
Yeah.
you go and play at all the time, is he a
Yeah.
buddy of yours?
Not that I'm aware of.
Did they actually know
a friend
who
of mine
did it?
did try
Yeah,
to
they
sell
got it.
me a mixing board recently, though. So
Oh shit!
Really?
I'm just
got it.
kidding.
Say no.
No.
They got a straight up picture of the guy, like a video of him like walking around the bar and shit. They've posted it up on the internet and shit.
I gotta look at this.
Yeah, man.
Does he look like a scumbag?
No, not really, man. He looks just like a normal ass dude, which is kind of a blurred out picture. You know, the fucking.
Of course.
You know, they're like, I got video of you, but
I
it's.
know. Everybody
a
wants to
blurred
have
image.
video of people doing shit, but they don't want to pay for good video equipment.
they do.
It's like, well, we got this
I know.
block-faced blob here. Oh, we got him, Your
We
Honor.
got him.
Our shit's awesome. If you zoom in on our stuff, you can see. You would
can see the
not
teeth.
question
I,
who it
I
is.
still have that little
Straightforward.
video clip of you guys.
The fireworks.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Which, by the
Fireworks
way,
going.
have you
He was like,
bought your
"Oh,
fireworks?
shit." No,
You bought any- do
I don't.
you
I
ever
don't
buy
buy
fireworks?
fireworks. No,
Man, we do. I don't think we will this year. I'll say that, but I'm going to. I'm like a big kid.
I'd say I've spent like maybe $30 in my whole life.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, dude, we spent like a bunch.
This dude I work with, Dalton, I call him the Great Danton. He goes buck, man.
Hell yes.
Oh,
It's like
just
at
a
work
bunch
one
of
day,
shit?
he showed me a bunch of like videos of the fireworks that he was gonna get. He was like, "Oh man, look at this one, boy! Got this, busting off." Like him and his family, they spend like hundreds of dollars. It's
Damn,
like, what
dude.
the fuck, man?
When
But
I
it
was
is
like-
kind of cool.
When I was a kid, man, the booklet they send in the mail used to be like porn to me, man. I used to love
I
looking
love
at
it.
the fireworks. Like, I bet that one's so badass. Well, you never buy any,
The
but
foomp on that one.
I'm like an addict with everything I do though, because every time we buy fireworks every year, like we'll light them all off, say on the eve. Of
Yeah,
fucking,
the third.
Yeah, the
we
third.
do it on the third.
Right?
Right.
Well, I'll be like, we gotta get more for tomorrow. We'll
We
just go
gotta
and
get
spend just a little
more.
bit more, and then we'll go and I'll spend another 100 or two,
little
and it's
more.
like just one
I
more.
mean, it's a buy one get one free. So I mean, come
How can
on.
you pass up on this? I'm pitiful
Hell
when it
yeah.
comes to stuff like that. But I will ever since I was a kid. I love blowing shit up. I love fireworks. I don't know,
It's
infatuated with it.
awesome.
Yeah, man.
One time I was at a
Looks like
bar and they were
Rocky
setting
Hills.
off fireworks and shit in the parking lot.
Yeah.
So, you know, I hopped out there and helped out. Then the cops came and they were like, "You can't do that." They're like, "Oh, sorry, officer.
It's like in a business.
Thought
like
this is America."
Yeah. Sorry, I thought I could do whatever I
I
want.
know. Hey, let's celebrate our independence with the traditional fireworks that we can't do.
So we couldn't originally
Freedom,
do
my ass.
the podcast on Friday because you had a show. How did the show go, man?
That was Saturday. I don't remember what happened Friday. I felt like I just slept.
Oh.
Yes, Friday was my me day.
Ooh.
No,
Did you go to a
great.
spa?
Awesome.
No, I just stayed in bed.
Oh,
I did a load of laundry.
That's good though.
It was great. But no, the show was good. I went to Murray.
Yeah.
Played at the record store again. It was cool.
Is that a good feel playing in a
Terrapin
little spot like that?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's like the people are cool. Like the kids that actually show up to see the show, like they're excited and they're fun
Yeah.
to talk
Oh,
to.
cool.
And the dude Tim, like that, is always working at the station. He's such a nice dude.
So
Aw,
nice.
hi
So,
Tim. Shout out
There
to
was
Tim.
he showed me a message though that he got from this guy that's like a cop or something in the area.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Oh, I hope there's no alcohol on the premises." I was like, what an unprofessional way
I
to
know.
approach legality.
Yeah,
like, oh,
wow.
I'm going to slide into your DMs and tell you what to do. But then he also cited this dude. He gave him like a $700 fine for not cutting his grass.
What?
Yeah.
What in the world?
It's those people who live in. Who the fuck would live in a neighborhood that you're told what to do with
yeah,
your
with the
property?
homeowners association.
I don't know.
Who does that?
I don't even think it was that.
No, really?
Yeah.
Wow, man.
Because there was also a thing. It's like apparently if you cut your grass and like shoot it out into the street.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a new thing.
Yeah, because
They're
they said there
charged.
was a dude. He was on a motorcycle and he went
Yeah.
around a turn and he slid and he died.
Hell yes.
Like I didn't know that was a thing.
Most
Yeah,
definitely.
man. I don't think a lot of people do, and especially your older people that don't get on like Facebook. It's been going real big on Facebook where they're like, they'll get on it, and there's people that have come around, like lawn care people that come around and knock on your door to tell you to come out and blow your fucking grass back into the yard
Mm-hmm.
because it's such a big deal. Like,
we have a
Say
blower.
you cut my
and he-
grass, you come out and
no,
blow it.
I'm just saying if they're
Oh,
driving
you
around
didn't
and see it.
patronize them. Okay.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
hey, I finished up with your grass. Come blow it into your yard.
No, they're just stopping at random people's fucking places. Which, okay, I get, and I'll do it out there now that I've seen all that shit. But I don't know how big of a problem it is. Maybe you said you knew about one guy that did it, that fell on his motorcycle.
Oh, yeah. Just the one bloke.
Yeah, well, maybe
I
there's
imagine,
more
though,
than that.
it happened. I can't imagine one guy leading to this big thing of
But
it
I mean,
being
if
everywhere.
your mode of transportation is susceptible to grass in the road, maybe you
You
shouldn't
need to-
fucking drive that.
Yeah, you need to get a car, bro. If you're
Right?
if grass takes you out,
Yeah.
you need to go get
It's like
a fucking car.
if they had major airplanes that would like crash whenever they hit a bird.
Oh, we'd be
It's like,
done
okay,
for.
maybe don't fly that.
We'd be fucking done for, man.
Most definitely.
Ooh,
But-
there was also a thing. Fuck. All right, on the topic of planes,
Yeah.
there was it was like a miniature. There was a little like a mini passenger plane. There were like 9 people that were gonna go skydiving,
Yep.
and it ended up crashing, and they all died.
What the
How's
fuck?
that?
And I
They all
thought-
had air fucking what?
If you got a
Parachutes.
parachute, you would think a parachute would
Air
save you.
what?
But I guess none of them were willing to make
What
the
am
jump.
I trying
Oh, they were
to
all
say?
scared to fucking jump in the first
So
place.
let's die.
I would have jumped. What
Get
is
the
that even
fuck
a
out.
question?
Oh, that's ridiculous.
You're all wearing parachutes and you die.
Yeah. No, I
So I
can't.
mean, I guess it makes sense where like major airlines wouldn't give people parachutes.
Wow, dude.
No, it doesn't
So like
make
it's just
sense.
going to be a waste of money. You're not going to use it
I'm
anyway.
not gonna use it.
Pussy. They don't save lives.
Whatever.
Did you hear they're
That's
making
absurd.
another Titanic, like a legit boat that was supposed to come out
Oh,
like 2022?
yes, dude.
Damn.
That is a
I've
thing.
heard this.
I'm not getting on that shit.
So they
I hope
put.
they intentionally sink it just to say that, you know.
They
can't
said
go
there's
home
gonna
again.
be enough lifeboats for everybody on the, which is probably should.
That's
Yeah.
a good idea, yeah.
But
Yeah.
they put the Titanic up to our modern day cruise liners, and the Titanic was like,
It was
a
like
quarter.
third of the size.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nothing.
It was so small compared to these huge. Why the fuck would you have? Why do we need them that big of a cruise ship? Why?
There's
What's
a
the
lot
point?
of people in
Whoa.
the world. What?
Come on now.
I've never been on one. I don't want to go.
What do you love? Boats? I don't understand. The
I do have an unrealistic appreciation of them.
I've been on one and it is badass.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
But still,
Those are
though, it
cool.
just seems like one of those things that's going to be the downfall of every. Like, we need bigger, better, more. Fucking make it better.
It's
You know what I mean?
definitely, it's absurd that everything has to be so much bigger because the Titanic was a big to
Huge,
do.
dude.
Yeah, it was gigantic.
huge. But I
And-
mean, for the time, it was huge. And now you're thinking like it's 4 times larger than the Titanic. Like, I just blew me away to know that we have something like that.
It's just feats of accomplishment.
Well, they found out that a lot of the Carnival cruise ships were dumping into the oceans
course
like
they were.
trash.
No
and-
shit.
It's
Would-
ridiculous.
Yeah, but I mean,
Pedestrians
think
are
about
throwing their cups out the window.
I know.
Oh, wait, not pedestrians.
Not
Drivers. Fuck you guys. I'm going to go get some water.
it. Boat people. Here, you want this water? So you can get up.
Oh, yeah, that's cool, man.
Okay, cool.
Thanks,
Watch
buddy.
me pour
Here,
you a glass of
Pour
water.
it in there. Yep.
There we go.
We take
Oh,
care of our
soundbite.
guests.
Sounds so good.
Oh man, that was fucking gentle. dude.
You want to
buddy.
drink it real quick? Hurry. No, don't drink it all.
No, but I just think, and that's
Where's my water, bitch?
you got your water,
Oh,
cool.
thanks, guy.
No, man, there's something about the world today and making it bigger and better and polluting, and it's just when you get to thinking of, it's almost like thinking about the universe. A lot of people do their shutdown. I told a guy one time we were
yeah.
talking about
guy's
the
an idiot.
universe and the Bible and how God works with, the modern conception of what the universe is and how it could work together, science and religion.
Yeah.
And no, he didn't want to hear nothing. So the thing is, and it's a fact, if you click a pin and hold it up to the sky, in that pinhead, in a pinhead, there's thousands of galaxies out there,
Hell yeah.
just like ours. Just not just like it, but
Yeah. The
So
same idea.
the
Yeah.
possibilities literally are infinite, like whatever's above infinite for there to be another
I
Earth.
feel like infinite's the limit.
No, man. There's like a problem. Infinite plus.
Infinite plus.
Infinite
All right.
point.
I'll accept it.
So I tell him this, and man, and this is what I don't get about Christians and stuff like that. I consider myself a Christian, and I'm a
Stop
good person.
that.
I
We
consider
went over
myself a
this.
Christian. Oh,
You're not a Christian.
oh. Well, I'm a fucking Christian.
You just started
I'm
there.
a fake Christian. No, I did start there, and then I opened my mind and stuff, and I'm not closed-minded. This
You
guy,
see their shortcomings. This
Yes.
guy is.
this guy was the epitome of what a Christian is. Okay, so I'm not. Okay, well, we got to
There you
that.
go.
So I tell him this, and he got legitimately
You're
upset with
finding
me.
yourself like every episode.
Yeah, he said,
a
he was like,
journey, bro.
who told you that stupid mess? He was like, there's no galaxies out there. There's no nothing beyond this world. You have heaven and earth, heaven and hell, good and evil, and that's it. You have a God and Jesus and all that, and he gets going on that shit. He gets blood red.
Poking people.
So I didn't go any further to like try to wean him off that. I was like, man, they have proof. They have satellites that are in space. He didn't want to hear none of it. He was like, it's
hit
all
up
a
Google,
lie.
you stupid motherfucker.
Yeah, he was like, it's all a lie, and the only thing that's out there is God and Jesus died on the cross for it. I'm like, what? I'm done. Like, okay, cool, man. Like, whatever you say.
I couldn't
I just
deal
don't-
with that guy.
Make him watch
Yeah.
the Red Bull video of that guy skydiving from space.
man.
Yes.
I
How
just
do you
don't.
explain this? Where's God?
I
So-
don't
Is
see
he
him.
watching him?
What that comes back to is a lot of people, and especially here on Earth, you have a lot of stupid people. I mean, you got people thinking the Earth is flat still.
Eh.
Let's just put it that way.
Again.
You got a lot of people that can't think outside of themselves and the things they've been taught and all that. They can't think for themselves. The universe is vast. There's infinite fucking possibilities of infinite things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I forgot what the original, why I got on the rant to begin with. I did the same thing you did.
Yeah.
Damn it. I thought it was just, I wrote down infinity. I thought we were just
infinity.
talking about
Oh, well, I had a
That
point because we were talking
infiniteness.
about the boats and people. We want more and more and more.
bigger and
Anyways,
better.
bigger and better. Anyways,
Better,
fuck it.
yeah.
But
Well-
there's so many, people are so shut down to.
More
possibilities.
than themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've told you this before, but I just don't understand someone who is religious and doesn't believe that their God could create anything other than this earth.
Other than this earth, that is a fucking.
How
It's like
is-
somebody that doesn't want to believe that their parent has another secret family.
Yes. Yes.
He'll love me less.
Like, what in
What
the
about
world?
the billions of people that are here?
I don't see why believing in more than discredits God in any way.
Right.
If that's what you want to believe, that God created everything, then why would God not have created stars and space and infinity and Mars and fucking
Yeah.
Venus and all this
kinds of
other shit?
This is
I
just one chapter.
Yeah, I just don't
I think,
understand that.
man. It
Makes
I
no
agree.
sense.
It doesn't. It'll never make sense with me, and that's why when, the people at church talk to me and they're like, oh, Jesus and stuff. I believe in a higher power, but I can't put a name on it. Like, I've never met anybody. I've never shook hands with the guy.
I definitely
And I
don't
don't know if
believe
it's
in
a guy.
your God. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
And that's what it baffles me that people are so shut down to other possibilities. Like, if you do that, there's no chance of you ever creating anything beautiful or us progressing as a human
Mm-hmm.
race or anything.
Yeah. You can recreate mediocrity, though.
Oh yeah, over
Yeah.
and over a fucking thing.
I just don't get people either. Like, have your beliefs and stay true to them. Like,
Yeah,
that's what you
but don't
should do.
force
But don't close out the possibility of something else.
You gotta listen.
What about us closing out the possibility, though, that they're right?
No, I'm not saying that they're not.
No, I'm not saying they're not right.
I'm saying they're not.
Yeah, you're
what
an
about me
idiot.
closing out that
You're an
possibility?
idiot.
That's fine. Fuck them.
I don't know who the fuck is right. I don't really care who's right, honestly. It doesn't
Yeah.
impact
I know
me
what I
in
believe.
any fucking way
Yeah.
to know one way or the other. I'm just saying, how could you not accept that you could possibly be wrong?
Yeah. You have to believe that you could be wrong,
Yeah.
or your God wouldn't exist in the first place.
Right.
You have to believe that you could be wrong because I just don't understand it. How many teachings there are and all that,
Well,
and you
simmer
believe
down.
that you're right.
Because if you're going to have faith in anything, then you just believe 100% that you're right.
I
And
know.
then if you
but-
don't, then there's no faith there. And then a
Right.
big aspect of religion is faith.
Yeah. I
So
know,
if you're
I've never got
operating
that
under the
faith thing.
assumption that you could be wrong, then you don't really believe it. It's like I could tell, hey, I believe this table is made of wood. I have faith in that. But if I'm like, oh, but I could be wrong,
Yeah.
And
No,
it's
that
like,
just
well,
means you're not an asshole. That means that you still believe the table's made of wood, but you accept the fact that, okay, well,
Right.
it could be plastic made to look like wood. Like it
Dude,
could...
excellent. This ties in perfectly to something I saw.
You want to talk about
All right.
plastic?
No, I want to talk about this Japanese game show. It's called like Candy or Not. I
Sounds
think is what it is.
awesome.
Yeah,
Candy or Not.
they have these people that can make chocolate and like candy shit look like anything. So it's like they put
Nice.
people in a room like this, and it's like, is it candy or not? And the way that you determine is you have to take a bite of it.
Shut up.
Yeah, so people are like, yeah, I think it's the washer, and they go over there and bite the washer, and it's actually a washer. But sometimes
no
it's
shit.
chocolate. And
So what's this at Candy or Not?
yeah.
I'm gonna
That's
check that
awesome.
shit out.
It's fucking nuts, man. It
Yeah,
makes
that
me
sounds
happy that like the
badass.
Japanese are a race or a country or whatever the fuck they are. I'm just happy they're there.
Both
What's
of
that?
those things.
What's that one?
Good
I think
one.
it was Japanese.
I don't know
It
anything.
was a Japanese show where they would they're like running through the obstacle, and then you have the two Chinese or Japanese guys talking shit about them,
Oh, yeah, dude.
but their mouths are moving and they got a
They're all
narrator.
excited. What the fuck was
I
that?
have no idea,
don't
but
know.
I
Yeah,
know
dude,
what you're
'cause they're,
talking
like,
about.
running
Everybody
on
knows
the-
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to. And they always got the fans and shit. That was always the shit I like that they don't. The fucking shit don't match up.
It's
Yeah, dude.
awesome.
It's always fun.
Yeah, but-
Goodness.
I think that people should open themselves up. It's the same with talking shit about homosexuals. I mean, and literally believing that they're gonna burn. You're telling that person, so no matter what they do, you're gonna burn.
Right.
So you're gonna fucking shut yourself down for a God that might not exist.
But even that's their own stupid opinion. And,
Do you
if
think
you
it's
make your
more
own
of a hate-
reality, just believe that you're not going to burn in hell, and then you're fine.
Yeah.
Do you think
Right.
that because some Christians and shit, I mean, they believe it so wholeheartedly that they'll get angry and they want to fight about it. And if a homosexual touched them, oh fuck, they'll scrub it with holy water.
Cut the arm off.
Yeah.
Go ahead and get
Yeah.
rid of it.
So do
It's
you
not
think,
AIDS, man. You can't
I think
give
that,
people a touch.
I think
I can't
that
even be
that's more.
ignorant today.
I think it's more hate than it is that you believe your Bible's right and you're trying to save their soul. You're more hateful than
Yeah.
anything.
You're not trying to save their soul. You're just like, here's why you're fucking disgusting
That's
to
why
me.
you're terrible.
Well, and rather than try and learn something, because it's being unfamiliar with something is, I guess,
Yeah.
frightening to people who are closed-minded. But instead of trying to learn about it, just close it out. Fuck it.
Yeah,
Shut the
it doesn't
door. I
exist.
don't.
Fuck that.
I learned today that fast walking is a stereotypical trait of gay people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always questioned you though. You walk pretty fast.
I'm just in a hurry.
Just in a hurry,
That was
always.
good.
You son of a
That's
bitch.
very
Yeah,
good.
got me a zinger, bro. Yeah,
That's good shit.
yeah, it is.
It was.
Nah, man, just sit in silence.
You want to say?
I was-
We're gonna say.
As I was thinking, we could keep talking, but the silence, it's like, silence tends to be awkward
Ooh,
with people in
man.
conversational stuff, but just,
Yeah, well, you wouldn't want people to stop
Just enjoy
listening now, would you? Hey,
I don't give a fuck what they do.
So I've been trying out, which I did it before. You know, I was having a real tough time in life, and I was like, well, I'll try anything. Well, I was trying to meditate, and I was meditating to these videos off YouTube and stuff, and it blew me away because I've read something where it says that the human mind fucking hates to be idle time. It doesn't, even when you're sitting in a dark room, and it's still trying to find
Yeah.
something to attach to keep itself busy, right? So I got into the meditation thing, and I kept putting the things on where it would guided meditations and shit.
Yeah.
And I just never felt it. I never could envision what they were telling me to envision. I couldn't breathe like they were telling me to breathe. Well, the other night, dude, I fucking put in earplugs. I was like, you know what? I'm going to do my own thing. And the silence was so loud, and it drowned out all my thoughts, and I could breathe, and it was weird, dude. I got into a place where, like, you know, mushrooms or DMT would put me. And I was sitting there, and I told her, I was like, it was like I fucking fell asleep, but I was conscious. I was aware of what was going on. And it was just a weird, my whole body was buzzing and shit. And I just think it's funny, because if you put that guided meditation in, that's what fucking screwed up the whole. Now I love
Dude,
meditating.
it gets the ball rolling.
Yeah. Have you ever meditated?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I read a thing the other night. It was like I forget, it was some dude, whatever. Anyway, it was like a life hack.
Cool.
Yeah.
Whenever you're getting ready to go to sleep, just meditate, because you either go really deep and have a great meditation or you just fall asleep.
Yeah.
So I did that,
Oh,
and it was
worked out.
awesome. Yeah.
I never did believe in it, and she got me onto the meditation thing, and I really like it. I don't want to be like a hippie about it, but it's legit. I think everybody should.
Hippie.
Yeah.
I'm a hippie.
Hippies can be right every once in a while.
Oh man, I'm telling you, and
Maybe
I think
not in the
that
eyes of Lars Fredrickson, but
I think
whatever.
meditation
Who gives
is
a fuck?
a key in your like development and learning about yourself. So, because I think there's so much that the human brain shuts out, burp, shuts out throughout the day, like stuff that we don't want to fucking see, we don't want to talk about, we don't want to try, and all that shit. We shut all that out. Well, if you took time to just quiet everything, quiet your mind, quiet your body, I think that you'd learn a lot about yourself. I think you'd be happier in that sense. Just people, we want fucking
Just
material
gotta-
things, and
gotta
we
keep
want
going, keep going, keep
Yeah.
So
going.
I think it made me think of like the brain not wanting to shut down. Like, regardless, it's like, I'm gonna show you something. We're doing this.
Yeah.
It makes me think of like people that were previously like really poor or homeless or something, to where they want to keep a refrigerator stocked full of food.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to go back to not being hungry. So
Yeah.
the brain
Yeah.
perhaps doesn't want to go back to a state of like non-existence, if you will. It's like, no, I'm not going back to that. Fuck
Yeah.
you. Here's some stimuli.
this.
I like that. That's interesting.
The thing with pulling out your phone all the time and checking out your phone is that the mind needs that. And I think we're all a bunch of drug addicts. That's why people
I was
got the
thinking I'm
wrong
doing that
idea.
shit for dopamine. Boy.
Yeah, I think we do it for that that little rush, or if you get a like on something, you're, oh shit, you know the
yeah.
feeling. We all know the feeling,
Yeah.
and I think that plays into everybody being. People who hate on addicts for the whole choice or fucking disease and
Right.
the hatefulness
Bunch of people who don't understand.
are a bunch of people that are probably addicted to cheeseburgers and
It's a bunch
Facebook.
of people that
and-
think gay is a choice.
Yeah. You get what I'm saying though? Like we're all addicts in a sense because our brain's always looking for dopamine in some sense of the term. And now
Well, and that's not even our fault. That's how our brain
I
works.
think
Right.
every time you touch my arm, I get a little
you
kick.
like it?
It's like, yeah, dude.
Putting it in you.
Somebody does love me.
But they so people, that's how I think we all operate in wanting that dopamine rush. But if you took time, I think you can accomplish more not trying to get that dopamine rush. If you shut that down and figure out, well, what do I really want? Because you don't want the big ass TV, the nice house, the car. Because when you get that, you're still going to be the same shitty
I
person.
would say that's just exciting in the beginning because you're like,
yeah,
oh
you're-
shit, I'm
something
buying
new.
something.
Oh,
Oh,
so
look at
fucking
this,
fun.
it's fucking great.
Dopamine,
Yeah.
But really,
dopamine.
what's the end game then?
I think
Internal happiness,
internal happiness.
contentment. I mean,
But I mean, is that going to come entirely from a lack of material
Oh
pleasures?
no.
no, but
Only buy things that you truly need, or that you truly would get so much use out of it that you'll probably break it from all the use that you're
Because
getting.
I kind of feel like, from my perspective, since I'm like the creative type,
Yeah.
I tend to look at movies and TV shows as like a source of inspiration. It
like
makes all
ideals.
sense. So if I got a bigger TV, it would just
It would
be a
enhance that.
cooler,
Right.
a bigger block of reality.
Yeah. But
I think though, like that, you're going to use it all the time.
Yeah.
So
Right.
sure.
So I guess it's just
like,
shitting on the people that use it mindlessly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
the
I'm
just-
gonna
buy
watch Judge
stuff.
Judy all the time.
yeah, well, they buy
Fuck
stuff
you,
for
Mom.
just no reason. They're just, they buy it and then it sits in a corner, doesn't get used and shit. It'd be like me buying all this equipment and then let it collect dust. Even when we're not doing the podcast, like I come back here, I'm recording shit. I just, lay down a few tracks and fucking, see how it sounds, all that shit. And I didn't do that before I bought all this stuff. I've always like, man, I really want to fucking do it. And, but it didn't, it never came out because I didn't have it in me to do it. Now I can come back here and shut everything out and play some tunes and, use my voice in the same manner. Like it changed. Like, when you buy things that you truly, you want, like mentally. So meditate on the things that you're about to buy or whatever. But we're all addicts in a sense. We always want to fill a void. And the thing is, those people will never fucking fill that.
So buy things with a greater purpose instead of just impulse buying
Yeah,
shit.
and say that's why there's so much shit in the world that you can buy because people
Oh,
know that people will buy anything.
Anything,
Yeah.
dude. If they make it look appealing, you'll buy it.
They're like,
You'll be
oh,
like,
shit.
I need
Man,
that.
all right, so I guess yesterday we were in Murray, and we ended up we stopped for gas. So I pulled up to the pump, and I went to use my debit card, and it said no debit outside. So I was like, all right. So I went inside. I was like, hey, I'd like to prepay 20 on the whatever, and the thing outside says no debit. She's like, oh, okay, go out, use your debit, and then hit start. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So I went and I did it, and it didn't work, and I went back in. She's like, oh, that one is messed up. Use the one behind you. I was like, okay, let me just prepay you. And she was like, no, it's on the thing.
Wow.
So I went out, and I was like, okay,
Wow.
well, it won't do my debit. And then I came in, and I was like, I'd like to pay, she's like, will it be credit or debit? I said, it's debit.
Yeah, we've
She's
already
like, our
had this
debit doesn't
conversation.
work. I was like, no fucking shit.
That's why I'm coming to you.
So I ended up, they had like a little CBD gummy. It was like for relaxing and shit. So I bought one, I ate it, and then I relaxed. And then we went to this bar. It was called The Alley.
Yeah.
And I picked it because I thought, all right, The Alley, it's going to be a little shitty hole in the wall.
Yeah, man.
But it was like a boss little bowling alley. And above it, they had like this fancy ass bar.
Yeah.
And there was a dude like playing piano. Like in
Aw.
front of these red curtains.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful.
That's awesome.
And I didn't expect it to be
I seen it
nearly
on your
that cool.
Facebook.
Oh, that's
Yeah, that
very
did look.
cool.
It looked legit, man.
Yeah, dude.
I wanna
Place
go
is
there.
sweet.
I do have
gotta
a
go to
fucking.
Murray.
I have a love affair with hole in the wall bars, man. Me and my buddy, we used to go to a hole in the wall after work, and it was our favorite place. But I mean, it was so shitty. Like the carpet and stuff was half torn up. Like it had a smell to it.
Place is kind of shitty.
But I was like, you know what? I fucking love it. I think it was more because of the memory with him, but man, I like
Well, yeah, it's
hole
all
in the wall
about who you
bars.
go with for
Yeah.
sure.
In general, there's just the appeal of like dark, shitty bars.
The beer's always cheap as shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Gotta love a bar with
People
cheap beer.
are always
cheap cold
very
beer.
interesting.
Yeah, I mean.
Very,
But
very interesting.
I think this world is just, I don't know, man. And the money's never gonna bring the happiness either. That's what I always thought.
true.
I always thought, like with Arrow, blah 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 blah, with a company that I worked for before, and the companies that I got into, I was like, I deserve to make whatever 29, 30, blah 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 an hour. And when I got it, I was like, but am I happy with the work I'm doing for it? You know what I mean? And I was like, I'm not fucking happy with the work that I'm doing. Now, if I work for myself and the people that need an extra hand or they don't have enough money to pay, that are really in a tight spot, I could go out of my way to help. So I think another key to that happiness is to help those in need. Because we have that need, everybody does, to offer a hand, whether it's a couple bucks or, changing a tire for a lady that's broke down or anything. We all have that need. And I think that that's another part of that happiness. That would give you more benefit than buying a big TV or a car. So if you offer a hand to help, it would excite you more than buying a material item.
Along those lines, do you guys like, if you offer to buy somebody like a candy bar or something out of the snack machine, and you're like, yeah, here's a candy bar, enjoy. You're cool with that. But if they're like, oh, here, man, you get a candy bar, get you something. You're like, I'm good. Do you guys do that? Or are you like, fuck yeah, man, give me that candy bar?
Ooh, I guess it depends.
I'm a little bit of both, but I mean,
I'm trying to remember the last time someone said they'd buy me something. Like a stranger or somebody I know?
Stranger.
anybody.
Oh, anybody.
It doesn't matter. Because, it's just the general idea of the act of kindness. And whenever you're extending the act of kindness, it's like, fuck yeah, man, take
that's
this.
rough.
But whenever somebody else does, there's like some second guessing sometimes.
I guess I usually, if it's a stranger, I would second guess it. But if
Yeah.
it's someone I know, then yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Because there's girls at work, like if we don't have like a drink and we just want one, it's not even that we need it, but we want a Coke. If I don't have any change on me, someone will buy it for me, and like that's fine
Right.
with me.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it was someone I didn't know.
Well, I mean,
I'm not
assuming
sure.
it's not like a dark, secluded area
Yeah.
and they're like 3 times your size.
Well, because there's a little vending area in one of the buildings next door to where I work, and just the other day I was over there with a girl, and this guy was in front of us, and his card wasn't working. So the girl was like, "Well, here, I'll get something, and then
Yeah,
you
see.
can get something, and we'll just call it a day." And he wouldn't take it. He said
Damn,
no.
man.
But she was like, "It's like $1, dude. Like I don't care."
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
fuck off,
And-
man.
Some people just have that's a pride that just won't quit over $1. Like,
Yeah.
yo, that's crazy.
I think
just
the,
won't quit.
I think
just
the
won't
most
quit.
expensive thing in the machine, was
Fuck.
$1.35 maybe.
Yeah.
And he had said no, but I mean, maybe he was just gonna try his card because hers worked or some shit. I don't know.
Was it a raisin honey bun?
No.
So
Is that a
No.
thing?
a thing that to help that out is like a thing called paying it forward. I know you've probably done that or had it done to you before. And then you just,
story about that.
I mean, you give them no other option. You're just like, here, whatever. The next guy with a cup of coffee, next girl with a cup of coffee, it's on me.
Yeah.
And then, hopefully that person doesn't just take your money.
Yeah, dude.
So paying it
I've
forward.
done that before.
Yeah.
But on the same topic, I'd rather give to somebody I can clearly visually see that they're in a rough position.
Yeah.
You fucking know when somebody's in need, right? I'd rather give to that person than somebody that come along and was like yelling like, hey,
Yeah.
let me get $1.
Yeah. Fuck those people.
And then, and at this day and time, like people that are at the stop signs and shit that are asking for money, I mean, it's coming out a lot that these people actually live in nice homes. And so how do you know who to give to and who not to? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a rough one. And it makes you feel like you can't be nice, you can't be giving. But my uncle told me one time that you just have to give. Whether or not they'll pay for whatever, wrong they're doing in that situation. You just have to give. It's the act of giving that makes it right.
Right.
You know what I mean? Even if that person's a fucking
I guess
asshole.
if you accept that everybody that you give to genuinely needs it, then you get that good feeling even if they don't need it.
Right.
Would you buy something for a cop just because they're a cop?
What? No.
Oh, you've never done that? Like if there's a military personnel in line behind you or in front
Well, a
of you?
military
buy for
person's different.
something? Yeah. So
Military
would buy
people
from-
don't set up roadblocks to like catch people doing shit.
Yeah. Smoking weeds.
But you
know.
understand, though, the roadblocks are a positive thing because people who are doing things they're not supposed to do are putting other people in risk.
Yeah, but it also feels like unlawful search and seizure and
Little bit.
that shit. It's like entrapment kind of shit.
Hey, I
It's
like
like, yeah,
when
if you weren't setting up and searking everyone,
you
Right.
you wouldn't
play.
have found it.
Yeah, you're not a good cop. You're just fucking,
Yeah.
whatever. They, I don't know. There's a word for it, but that's like a cop coming undercover and like that one undercover that went to that high school student and she kept like, come on, man, buy me some weed. I'll go
Yeah.
out with you. I'll have sex with you. What motherfucking kid is not gonna fuck? Well, shit, yeah, I'll find some
yeah.
weed.
Yeah.
I can find.
Yeah.
I think he bought like a dime sack from some.
It was a
fucking-
dime.
It was
Yeah.
some bullshit, and they actually charged. I'm like, how can you say that that's right? Like you didn't.
Yeah, the kid turns you down over and over and over
and
again.
Fallon's like, well, I could use some pussy.
Yeah,
because I'm
and then
fucking
you're like,
15.
"Oh, fuck you." Of
Yeah.
course, he bought weed from you.
Why are you trying to set up a 15-year-old with pussy and weed? Pussy and weed.
Like you can't
What's
find
the good shit?
You
pussy and
can't
weed.
find somebody else, like someone who's obviously doing like this
Yeah.
kid said no. Like do a better job.
I know, stop
and-
wasting time catching kids and go hang out in the bad part of town.
Yeah,
Catch
exactly.
the people actually fucking shit up, you assholes.
Yes.
I think
God.
Don't get the dime
Cops-
bag guy.
cops are always fucking worried about the wrong person.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
It's like those motherfuckers that want to fix things that aren't actually fixed. Like,
Right.
They don't need fixed.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, let's
really
let's save
doing
the
something.
doilies, you know?
Save the
No.
doilies.
we're really doing something here. And then,
Yeah.
then they'll fucking like prideful be like, I caught this fucking, did this drug bust and got this, dime sack of weed, man.
Doilies 2019.
I don't get that, man.
Shit.
That's, I got pulled over one time and the cop was like, I just tried to get me into saying that I was trying to buy weed or some shit. And he was like, oh, selling dope in my city. And I'm like, it's not dope, it's weed, motherfucker.
And it's a metropolitan area.
Yeah, my city. They're just a bunch of assholes,
You're like, and I'm
man.
not selling it.
I think
Using it. It's
they're-
very different.
they were also people that have been conditioned a certain way that believe in these values no matter what. They don't think that weed could be like beer or it couldn't be medicinal, it couldn't be helpful or anything. They just
Yeah.
see that
The reefer madness.
they're gonna fucking get you doing something wrong, even though they're probably, looking at child pornography and shit like that because
Right.
they're assholes.
Yeah.
I'm beating it to 3-year-olds, but don't let this black man sell weed.
Yeah.
Or I guess in your case, the white man that's black on the inside.
Right. Yeah.
That's right.
I think there's going to be a big change in how law enforcement works and shit.
And I forget who the hell said, like, it was passed for, like, weed is now, like, not really significant in according to Louisville. Like, they're not really looking for it.
Good.
Oh, yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, because that's fucking.
It's like as long as you have, I think, less than an ounce,
Nice.
like, they're cool with it. And I thought,
Yeah.
I've only ever bought a half ounce. So
It's Colorado. I was going to correct myself on the last thing that I said last podcast. Is that Colorado decriminalized mushrooms, but they also decriminalize all the psychedelics, DMT, peyote,
Really?
all that shit. Yeah, you can do it. You can not do it openly in their face and shit.
Yes,
But you
But
can
they're
do
not
it in
gonna-
your home and not get your door
Yeah,
kicked
they're not
in.
going to bust down your fucking door. That's another thing that I don't agree with, in which the argument is, look at all the fucking pain and suffering that got that drug to your doorstep, blah, blah, blah. I get that. But is it really anybody's right to tell you what you can do in your
Well,
house?
if they made it legal, then there wouldn't be any pain and suffering.
Right.
There'd just be
Right.
a fucking factory making good
pump
ass
it out.
drugs.
Yeah, good ass drug.
Instead of, hey, let's
Drug
fund the
factory.
drug lords of
Yeah.
Mexico. No, just make
Who
it
are
legal.
fucking cutting people's heads off and
Yeah.
shit.
Sell
And
me,
that's why
sell
they're
me
doing
drugs
it.
at
Yeah.
Walgreens.
Because when stuff's illegal, there's such a big profit on it. Like
Right.
there's a huge profit on for the same $200 gun that sells in a store that the criminal can't get is $2,000 or $3,000 on the streets because I mean,
Yeah,
there's
'cause it's
illegal.
illegal.
There's a profit to be made.
It's
Definitely.
like
when you-
selling kids more and charging kids more for beer.
Yeah.
If you take all that out,
Or selling kids.
it's just whatever.
Selling kids.
We were reading something about Child Protective Services being the big. That's who trafficked the most kids, are CPS.
Yeah.
CPS to put them in the system
They
and
did
then traffic them.
They did a study. Well, I don't think they're directly trafficking
Oh, they're
them.
doing it.
Children
But
pimp
it's-
services.
They're like high risk, so they're sneaking out, they're running away, they're doing all these things that they're not supposed to do.
And that's what makes them
Yes,
get raped.
and it was something like a study done in like 70 different cities, I think, and 86% of the kids ended up, they were involved in human trafficking.
So is there a possibility to actually help the kids benefit for being sold instead of put into child protective services? So if they're like some eccentric people with money, and they're like, oh yeah, let me buy a kid.
You're fucked
Yeah.
up.
Why don't you just adopt one? No, I want to buy them.
I want to buy
I'm gonna
them.
buy it, dude.
They sell them to Japan or whatever.
I feel like
Japan.
sterilizing would help cut down on the amount of kids that are in foster homes,
Foster homes, dude.
and being fucking trafficked.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what about
man.
instead of teaching like celibacy or whatever, abstinence and shit, we just teach kids to have anal sex?
Let's not do that.
Yeah, you can't get pregnant in the back door, kids.
Well, you could if
and
it
you save
drips-
money on condoms.
If it drips out of the butthole into the vagina, there's still a possibility.
Do you know what kind of damage is done with anal sex? The
Well,
lining
you're about to know.
inside of your anus is very
So
thin.
thin.
Yes,
So thin.
so your increased risk of it tearing and then poop leaking into your
Ooh,
body,
Yeah, I've seen that.
causing
Sepsis.
infection.
But,
septic.
you know,
Yeah,
do you want an
sepsis.
infection or do you want a baby? That's
How
I don't
about
want
you
neither.
don't fuck? Period.
Tell that to Georgia,
Who's Georgia?
the state.
Oh,
Man, so they
all right.
so Flint, Michigan
Right.
finally declared a state of emergency because are you on the up and up about their the amount of lead in their water?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man.
I
They
first heard
finally-
about that from AboveTopSecret.com, which is
Yeah.
a conspiracy website.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, a few months later, it came out in the regular media.
Yeah,
Because I was like, there's no way this is fucking real.
dude, it's
Yeah.
so real.
It's the same place I learned about WikiLeaks.
Oh,
and then,
really?
like, months later,
Yeah.
it came out in the regular media. Like,
Yeah,
dude!
Yeah,
They're
send
on
me a
top
link
of
to
their
that
shit.
website. Send me a link to
Yeah,
that.
they
I'd like
haven't
to check it
had
out.
water for a long
Dude.
fucking
Yeah, it's so
time.
fucked.
They said that
Let's
been
still,
years at
let's
this
still
point.
send other countries foreign aid, but fuck Flint.
Yeah.
there's not a
Did
child.
too many
in-
white people move into the area? Now they have to declare it a state of emergency?
No, there's two.
Karen's not having that.
Karen will not. There's children, pretty much any child that you test their blood has an amount of lead in their blood that's toxic, right?
Yeah.
And you can't, your blood and your body don't have a way to process lead or mercury. That's why heavy metals is an issue. It's not supposed to be
Plus,
there.
if they're faced with Magneto, they're fucked.
Yeah.
Magneto.
So, man, it's becoming a state of emergency, and we need to raise awareness.
Most definitely.
Wasn't there some rapper guy?
Stop sending your fucking money to people overseas, or to, whatever the cause is. Like, let's take care of home.
Yeah,
let's
please.
take care of Flint, Michigan. Let's take care of other states that fucking need it.
Yeah.
Here in the U.S.
There's a lot of fucking places that could use it. So
If anybody listening's living in Flint, give us a call.
Yeah. Or if anybody...
know the number.
Anybody has a
if it's
link...
meant to be, you'll guess
Anybody have a link to donate or help out Flint, put it in the comments
That'd be
below.
cool.
So we can check
most
it out.
definitely.
And we'll
I like
try
that.
to pass it out and get the information out there.
For
But
sure.
we do want to thank our listeners for listening to another episode of Wildly Uninteresting, where most of these fucking things that we've said don't have facts to back them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, but happiness, they say that if you double your friends, it increases your happiness more than if you double your salary.
Boom.
So get you some friends.
But also, I think if you have more than 100 friends, it kind of starts to
Then your brain
deteriorate
starts
your
to-
happiness because it's overdoing it. So
many
don't overdo
fucking-
it. The bigger and better thing, like with the Titanic.
Don't
It can only
overdo
get so big, and then it kind of topples over.
everything in moderation.
Everything even
So
moderation.
get you some good-ass friends.
Good ass friends. And thank you for listening. This is Wildly Uninteresting, episode motherfucking 12.
12, bitch. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Wildly Uninteresting.
Matt, Wah, Wah.
Mer, 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 mer.